This is kind of an impromptu video. Don't really have a plan for it. I'm probably just going to end up rambling. But I feel like this video is something I need to do. So, where do I begin? So the last time I posted was back in June of 2021. I had started 2021 really loving reading and really just throwing myself back into it kind of full force. Well, not kind of. And then since I was reading so fast and reading so many different things, I didn't necessarily have a group of people to talk to, which is why I started my booktube channel, so I could talk about the books that I was reading, get my thoughts out, you know, a sense of community. Since I kind of threw myself into making videos and trying to put myself on this strict schedule, I kind of made that a commitment. Well, I did make that a commitment. At the same time, I was making a lot of other commitments to friends, to work, so on and so forth. And the process of reading, I think, just became very overwhelming. Like, I felt like I needed to read so I'd have something to talk about, and that sucked a lot of the fun out of it for me. And that's when I said I was gonna take a break that summer. So in June, I was in a not really good living situation. Since this one person moved in, it had been slowly escalating. It was a tough time for me. I was pushing myself too hard, committing to a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have been, and I was in over my head. I shut down. I started reading less. I started filming less. I started pulling away from some of the people in my life, and I just kind of retreated inward. I'd stopped reading when my grandpa passed. That was back in 2017. It was the summer before my senior year of high school, and I struggled a lot with that and losing someone that close to me. And I didn't really realize it at the time. And then I went to college. And like I said, my program was very difficult. I was going through a lot of change, moving in, living by myself, having to hold myself accountable for just every day taking care of myself. I was pretty overwhelmed, I think, with everything else going on. You know, it was more of a struggle to get out of bed and make sure I'm taking my meds and make sure I'm getting to class on time and making sure I'm not forgetting an assignment or just so on and so forth. And that there just wasn't time or energy really to read in that environment for me. So fast forward to back in 2021, in August, when I got back into the program to finish out my last year, there still wasn't time for reading. I was taking like a quarter of the class load that my classmates were taking, because I was just taking 2 classes the first semester I was back, just retaking the ones I hadn't passed. And they were tough classes, and I worked my ass off, but also at the same time, right around the beginning of the school year, my living situation reached its all-time high, and things got really bad there for a little bit. But I wasn't really focusing on that. My mindset was school was all I had to live for at that point. In like December, I think I picked up East of Eden like 3 times. And I liked the book. I liked what I was reading, but I was so consumed by everything else going on, I couldn't let myself enjoy just reading. So I just stopped. Fast forward to beginning of this year, I'm in my final semester of college, and it is uber stressful. So I was in a vet tech program, and you have to pass all these essential skills in order to graduate. So I didn't even know if I was going to get all of those done in time to graduate, and if I was going to graduate at that rate till like 2 weeks before, when I finally got all of them done. And it was terrifying. I don't want to think about what would have happened had I not graduated. But after graduation, this weight was finally lifted off of me. But also, on my days off, I felt guilty for kind of relaxing. I really wasn't sure what to do with myself. Because, you know, before, when I was in school, it was always, well, I have this assignment to do, I have this skill to work on, I have this and this and this. And there really wasn't a lot of that anymore. But there were boards. So where I live, you have to pass state boards, and then you have to pass national boards to get your veterinary technician certification. So I kind of decided, okay, well, we'll just throw ourselves into that, and then it's like school's still kind of going on, even though it wasn't. So I threw myself into that, and I did pass my boards. Just got my certificate in the mail, actually. So I'm really happy about that. But once, you know, boards were done, it was like, okay, school is officially done. And I think that was hard to kind of wrap my brain around. Once I started working full shifts, though, basically I work 3 12-hour days a week, and then I have 4 days off. So I had a lot of time to myself that I didn't have before. It's funny because the thing that got me back into reading was, so at work we have this book club, and while I was in school, it had started up and I had joined it, and I never read the book. And I think it was the May book club. They picked The Hunting Party by, I think it's by Lucy Foley. I'm pretty sure it is. So I was like, you know, I graduated. I have all this time. I'm gonna read the book club book for once. Going to finally do it. So I read it and I hated it. absolutely hated it. I think I rated it 2 stars. Really did not like it, but I flew through it in like 2 days because I was so mad at it and I just wanted to be done with it, just so I could say, you know, I read the book club book. Finally, I read it. I haven't read another book club book since. I don't know why. You know, you wouldn't think that reading a book you absolutely despise would make you get back into reading, but it did somehow. But, I started reading again. I was getting library books, library ebooks, because we still don't leave our house. Who does that anymore? And I was having a good time again. The books that I've picked out since I've liked, or there's one I read with the mindset it was probably going to be bad, but I wanted to read something bad. I started reading again back in May. I'm pretty sure it was May. So I read The Hunting Party, and then I read, what did I read next? I read My Dark Vanessa next, and June is a really tough month for me, and My Dark Vanessa, I think that's the book that really got me back into reading, because that book got me through it, and it taught me lessons about myself, to change the way I view myself and talk to myself. And I really needed that month. From there, I read Piranesi, and that one was spectacular as well. I also read a graphic novel depiction, well, adaptation of The Jungle, and then read Tender as the Flesh, back to back. That was a trip. And then when I was doing one of my mindless scrolls through Facebook, I saw the Trevor Project was doing a 20-minute reading challenge in September. You could set up your own fundraiser and then you read 20 minutes every day in September. So I've been doing that, and I have my love for reading back. And now that I'm kind of posting daily updates, you know, trying to raise funds, so on and so forth. That being said, go donate to the Trevor Project. They advocate for mental health for LGBTQ plus youth, and I think that's really important and something I wish I would have had growing up. But yeah, I'm new and improved. I really missed this, and it was fun. When it was fun, it was fun. I want to get back into this, and I don't want to set myself on a schedule because I don't want to stress myself out, but just felt like I couldn't do that without talking about the past year first, just kind of clear the air. So just popping back in. And wow, that was a really long-winded way of getting to the point. This is gonna be a nightmare editing, but it's fine. I did a lot of rambling, but I felt like it needed to be said. Because I feel like there are some people that deserve that explanation. Taking care of yourself is very difficult, as I've learned over the past year. the past 4 years. I do take some pride in myself for realizing that I was in that spot and working on pulling myself out of it. I got back on medication to help manage everything. I started therapy 2 times over. Allowing myself the escapism of reading has been very important in my life. But to just completely drop reading like I did should have told me, and I should have, started the steps of reaching out for help sooner than what I did. I'm not really back per se. I'm here, we'll say. I think it's important that more people be open about their mental health and their struggles and what they're going through, because it can be incredibly helpful for someone else to hear that and to understand that they're not alone and that it's okay to get help, and you shouldn't wait for that like I did. I paid the price for that, and I still am. I know I'm still gonna have bad days. I'm still gonna have periods where I'm probably not gonna read a lot, and that's gonna be fine. That's normal. And that was a tangent. I just wanna get back to posting, get a sense of community, and like I said, I still want to do book related content because I really like making book related content. I'm also growing plants, so maybe I'll make plant content. I don't know. Probably not though. Yeah, probably not, because my plants are stressing me out so much. Excited to be here, and I will see you when I see you. Probably to talk about East of Eden, because I have some thoughts. But donate to the Trevor Project. Like and subscribe if you want to. I don't really care. Comment if you want to. But I may see you next time. Maybe I won't see you ever again. Who knows? But I will be back with something. So if you want to see what that is, stay tuned.